Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy, and as always, I'm here with my husband, Noel. He is over there hiding behind all of his equipment. Well, maybe we can get him to come on today. Good morning, wise old bag lady. Hello, I love discounts. I love discounts. You know it's Monday morning. We're going to talk about last night. So, y'all, welcome in Monday morning. Good morning, Daisy Lane. It was a good round table, wasn't it? Hello, two peas in a pod. So, today's mix and sell, or what did I call it? Chat and sell Monday morning mix. Hello, Rawson, Monster Mama. Hello, hello. There are items in the auction tab. So anything with the pre-bid, I will run. Good morning, Kimmy D. Let's talk about last night. Monday mornings, I always love to kick it off. Our first item is to talk about what happened last night. Good morning, Pit Love. So if you don't know, we do a podcast every Sunday night at 6:30. It is myself, which is Zoe's Treasures. I Love Discounts, Tony and Lysandra, and Green 13, which is Jeremy. And we come together and we talk about all kinds of different things. And this coming up week, we're going to have a special guest. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But last night we talked about schedule it or wing it. And I think I was a scheduler and everybody else was more on the wing it side, even though they all have certain elements of scheduling in their systems and processes, kind of by nature. It seemed like Jeremy, Antonio, and Lysandra are more wing it people and I'm more of a schedule it person. So much so that I made a point of all of my Saturday shows that I do, that's kind of my big, besides my Friday show, Saturday is the one I've done consistently for almost 2 years now, Saturday at 4 o'clock. And that show, you were ganging up on me? No, you weren't. In my Saturday show, I actually have them planned out. My husband's telling me I'm not in the center, that I need to move, where it's going to be like this. I actually have all of my Saturday shows planned out through the end of the year. So I want to know, am I alone in this? I know exactly. I have a whole schedule. It's not in these notes. I have a whole schedule of what my shows are going to be every Saturday through the end of the year, what I'm selling, or what's the main theme of my show. Am I alone in this? Does anybody else pretty much have, let's say, at least 6 months of shows planned out? Even if they're not scheduled, you at least know what you're going to do for the next 6 months. Or am I by myself with this? Thank you, Daisy Lane. Wise old bag lady, never. Kimmy, thank you, Kimmy. Yeah, yes, I'm feeling some sisterhood going on here. Absolutely not. Oh my God. Good morning, Southern Charm. Some shows scheduled, not at all. I plan about a week ahead. Nope. So I may be a little, but it seems more so that there's probably more wing it or halfway schedule people. I am very, very strict with my scheduling. Surprise, surprise, right? Nobody would ever have guessed that from me. I like to know. To me, it's comforting. And it doesn't mean it won't change. It may change. Very well could change. But at least for me to know this is what's happening makes me feel good. I hope to get that kind of level. I have my first show. Well, congratulations, Rawson. That is awesome. Go ahead and put in there, what are you selling tonight? So that anybody who wants to come and support a first-time show can do so. Good morning, Forgotten Memories. I don't know. I've got to be that schedule type person. To me, if I don't know what's going on, I get a little nervous. And it's interesting because when we talk about, I think there's some innate personality types like this. My husband's reminding me, because I'm failing to do my job here because I just start talking, that you are all, I talked about the podcast. If you're not following the podcast, please follow the podcast. You are all invited to come on Sunday evenings at 6:30 to watch us debate topics such as schedule it or wing it. So I'm failing to do my job, and he's holding up a sign reminding me. That's what happens when you have a producer sitting back there. Good morning, Kim. Hello. And you made me lose my train of thought. Thank you, my love. He does this to me. I'll be on a roll. I'll be going, and then he holds up a sign, and there it goes. It's that easy, just like that. I lose what I'm thinking of. Totally forgot what I was going to say. And he's ignoring me now. Okay, so we're talking something. I like literally, y'all. I have zero clue. Podcast last night, yes, but it was more. It was something more about the podcast. I don't know. Talking about scheduling shows. I I need to do it. Here's my next question for you. Um, I wrote it down here somewhere. The other thing we talked about is taking requests. We kind of dovetailed into all different things. And this was a big topic because this is something personally that I said last night I'm struggling. I don't know if struggle is the right word. This is something that's been on my mind. I've been thinking about it a lot. I'm probably going to make changes in my upcoming shows when it comes to the topic of taking requests. It's something that I've noticed in my shows that has been bugging me. So, how do you guys feel? First of all, if you're a seller, do you take requests in your show? Let's start with that. Let's just start with the basic question, then we'll go in there because I'm really curious to hear what you guys think. I got some good feedback last night from the people who were watching the show and from I Love Discounts and Green 13. Rawson's first show tonight is, they got some Fenton, so they got some really cool stuff, some fairy lamps if y'all are interested. Looks like some really good vintage. Southern Charm says yes. Daisy Lane says no. And part of this, Daisy Lane, part of kind of what's been, you have driven some of the thoughts in my head in a good way. Because I have always, so just kind of a little history, have always been super big on request. I feel that if you don't take request, it's a barrier to buying. And I am all about breaking down the barriers to buying, making it as easy as possible for people to buy from you. Not so you're taking advantage of, but making it easy. So I have always historically been on the side of we take requests. Watching Daisy Lane and watching her handle in a very professional, polite, nice manner of, I'm not going to take those requests, I'll get to the items, kind of made me start thinking. And then I've had some stuff happen in my shows recently over like the last month that just a bunch of different little things kind of coming together and start to make my wheels spin in my head. I take requests, however, I'll finish that, then honor. Yes. So you're showing what you do. You just kind of honor it later. So happy to have interest. And I'm and customer centric. And that's it. Part of my thing is, and I said this last night on our podcast. So if you weren't there, I feel as if not taking requests is the equivalent to in person walking into a boutique. So you say you're clothes shopping and you walk into a boutique, gorgeous stuff. And there's some painter's tape on the ground in front of you. And you start walking in and they say, stop, don't go past that tape. You're going to stand there and I will show you stuff and I'll get to whatever you want eventually. And you're like, hey, wait a minute. Thank you, my love. You're like, wait a minute, I want to see that dress. And they're like, no. I'll show you the dress when I'm ready to show you the dress. This is kind of how I feel about not taking requests. But at the same time, I see other things that are happening, lower bid prices, interruptions to shows, rudeness in asking the request that are making me think, okay, that's one point of view, but there has to be another point of view here. And maybe I need to really do some soul searching and some introspective thinking to change my point of view. Let me go back and see. I did not understand some of the psychology behind it. Show flows smoothly by selling in that order. And I agree. And I totally, like Daisy Lane, I totally agree with an order of the show because I've done that for a long time. So I totally agree with that thought of just like, hey, this is where I'm going, because most of us will put things in a show in a specific place on purpose, at the beginning, at the end, whatever it may be. As a buyer, sometimes I don't have, and see, Laurel, that's the other side of it. And that's what I'm thinking of. Hey, if somebody wants to buy it, if they're asking for it, it's like they have their wallet open, ready to hand you money. So why am I going to stop them from doing that? So as you can see, there's a lot of pros and cons. And I have been back and forth with this. You might lose a sale by showing what somebody doesn't want instead of what they're asking for. Exactly. However, at the same time, let me tell you the things that I've seen in my shows that I've struggled with. I have noticed that when somebody requests something, I get lower bids because a lot of us, even though there's no friends in auctions, a lot of us will be like, oh, they wanted it, they can have it. So you might, someone in a hurry can pre-bid if pre-listed. They can, and they can put their max bid in. And that's a really good point. I think it depends on how big your show is. I like when the chat guides me on what to show. That's a good point, Monster Mama, because like I Love Discount said, if you have a bunch of jewelry, you can't be digging through it. That's super disruptive to the show. So, all right. Seller personality can make or break you with taking or not taking requests. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I'm going to, let me see what else. It would help to say you'll run it when you get multiple requests to run it a little later. Is your goal to move volume or create? Yeah, I like that. You kind of got to think what your goal is. So either way, I'm going to be thinking through this. There may be changes coming in my show around that. There may not be. I don't know. It's something I'm definitely putting a considerable amount of thought behind. If y'all want to see more, we spent a good hour debating this topic last night. So if you guys want to see more about this, go check out the podcast, go watch it, because it wasn't just my opinions. You had some really good points by Tony, Lysandra, and Jeremy on Green 13. So what happened to make you think about this? Some of the things that happened that made me think about this in my shows were, I got a request the other day that was really rude. So this is the other thing I kind of wanted to talk about today is the etiquette on Whatnot. Like I feel that there's a lot, there's a decline in the etiquette on Whatnot with the influx of new people. I feel that nobody's learning or teaching like how to behave, I guess. So it's just kind of the rudeness of it. My husband wants to talk.
For example, Ronson Auction, they came in and they said they're going to have their first show. That's awesome. They didn't push themselves into trying to promote their show. They just very natural came in and they said they had their first show coming up. So because of that, let's check them out.
There you go. And so while I say that there is a lack of etiquette, we also have people who are very, very respectful. Thank you, honey, for showing that.
So there you go, guys. And they have very few followers, so.
All right. So you're welcome so much. So I think there's a lack of etiquette. So I've been having people just the way requests are. It's not like, can I see this or please? Or there's just no decencies to it, no nicenesses. It's you're very welcome, Rawson. There's more of this almost a demanding kind of tone. And I know it's by words on a screen and that you're not seeing body language, you're not hearing inflections in voices, and that can make a big difference in the interpretation. But once you've been doing this for a while, you can get some, yeah, that's how it is. It just feels, you can feel some of that coming through. And I feel that there's an interruption, lower bid prices. So it's just making me think. Exactly. I've never been on the app. I haven't been on the app very long, but I've also seen a change and not in a great way. Is anybody else experiencing this, or is it just me seeing like I feel like there's a loss of Whatnot etiquette happening lately. This is true. I've had some very rude Daisy Lane. Yeah. I mean, and you've been on for a while. Have you hit your year? It seems like you've been on for a long time. Hold on, I missed a comment here. Monster Mama. I've been in customer-facing role my entire career. I had to ignore the rudeness because you're used to it. And that's really sad. That's really sad that we're Forgotten Memories says, yes, they're seeing it. Lots of change in tones, lots of demands. All right. So a year in May. I knew it had to be soon. So it's not just me. Like, I think there is this general etiquette. In my show, for the first time ever, I booted somebody out of a show. I didn't. My husband did for me. Like in his role as a mod, he booted somebody out of my show for the first time ever on Saturday. I am not a blocker or a booter. You get a lot of chances in my show. But if you're rude, like out and out, just plain old being rude, nasty, inconsiderate to me or the other people in the chat, you will get booted. And that happened on Saturday. But it was one of those situations that caught me off guard to where I didn't even know what to say when it happened. And I'll tell you about it. Let me just read this question. When you process death claims, you do. Oh, yeah, you do deal with people at their worst. I can imagine that. Let's see I had some guy very pushy, so he pushed him to another show. And Southern Charm was in my show, and they're like, yeah, they should have been booted. So on Saturday, what happened to me, and I do see the pre-bids, y'all. I'm going to get to those in just a second. Thank you so much. Let me run a giveaway while we're going here. And we're going to talk about giveaways too. Giveaways are for a CEO affirmation card and a vintage postcard. CEO affirmation cards look like this. They have an affirmation on one side. They are like playing cards. So not that I didn't appreciate the new people that come in, but an entitled group came along with that big person and did $1 million. Yes, natural state of high. And I think that was like when the floodgates opened was with that, with the big Super Bowl show last month or 2 months ago, whenever that was. So Saturday in the show, doing my thing, I'm selling, normal show. We're chit chatting, doing what we do. And somebody came in without saying hello, didn't follow me. I've never seen this name before. No chit chat, nothing going on. And in big paragraph, like took up 4 lines in the chat with the question mark, so it was bright yellow, announced the title of their show, the time of the show. It was that evening, right after my show, and miscellaneous items that they were selling. Come see me. I'm doing blah, 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 blah tonight at this time. And it was just like, it took me by surprise. I'm a very prepared person. We talked about planning far out. That's why thank you so much, Southern Charm. I appreciate that. And so were other people in the chat. We're trying to push that up. So 2 sides to this. One, as a buyer or as a supporter, if you're in the chat and you see that and it's rude, like Southern Charm says, support that seller. Throw some emojis in, put, something in the chat. Just keep it moving up so that gets off the screen. We could do that as supporters in other people's shows when we see something rude. And then as a seller, just think through it. What are you going to do? This is not a scenario that I had thought through at all. And I'm like, and I went to block, and then I saw my husband go into block, and I just left it. And he came on and he's like, look, that was really rude. And you could go back and watch the interaction. It's on YouTube, but I was just kind of like, it kind of threw me off and kind of threw me out of my element when I was selling. And that's messed up to do to a seller. Like getting them, if they're on a roll and they're doing their thing, to mess them up like that. Monster Mama, you saw it too. I will fight to push it up. Yeah, natural state of high, you're really good at that. But I think you just have some outstanding mod skills just in general. I had a drive-by promote, popped in, pasted, and then left. Same thing. Yeah, it just kind of throws you off. I'm used to, I'm ready for if somebody says, hey, can I promote? I can answer that question. Normally, I don't have a problem with it. I may not read it. I may not acknowledge it, but I usually don't have a problem with it. I'm getting more and more. This, again, as I kind of go down my whatnot journey to a point where I'm like, I don't think I want promoting in my show unless I say, hey, let's take a couple of minutes, everybody promote. So I'm kind of in that, I need to put more boundaries and controls around it. I just thought it was rude. However, let me kind of tell you the backside of this story. You could, thank you, my love. You could always use Red Chat in there to ask in a nice way. I always ask and wait for downtime. If the seller doesn't comment, then leave it alone. Yeah, do it. You're on your own. Exactly. That's why people generally say no, because if you say it once, then people assume you can just, drive by and do it whenever you want. Exactly. I have historically, again, this isn't one of those things, haven't been against promoting, but I'm getting to the point now where I'm going to be like, no, it's not going to be allowed in my shows. It should be a thing if seller is okay. Yeah, if the seller says so, by all means. And here's what happens. I heard another seller say this. When you're brand new, you want that interaction. So as a brand new seller, you're encouraging people to promote because you want your chat going. You want that interaction. It's a way to make some connection, especially when you're brand new and you haven't formed friendships or whatever yet. And you're nervous and all of that. But then as you get farther down your journey, and I'm not saying this has nothing to do with size. I'm just saying as you get farther down your journey, you typically start to have a little more people in your room. And it could be 10, 15, 20. But the more people you have in the room, the more people want to promote because there's more people to promote too. So you start seeing it more and more, and it starts to become more disruptive to your shows. 100%. Yes, like you just said, give them a time and then go ahead. So that's what happened. We booted somebody first time ever. I don't know. Oh, the backstory. Let me finish telling you the backstory. Until you have a well-oiled machine and now you share disputes, especially if you're already, exactly. If you're prone to squirrel moments, forget it. You're gone, right? So I messaged this person after my show was done. I went and looked at him. And that's when I realized they were brand new, like 80 something sales. So very, very new seller. So I messaged them and I thought it was nice. It was firm, but it was nice. And I'm like, hey, what you did was very inconsiderate. It would be considered rude. We did boot you from the show, but that's all we did. A lot of other sellers would just block you immediately. It's not proper etiquette. And I kind of went through the whole thing. 5 alarm bargains. You got that giveaway. Congratulations. I kind of went through the whole thing. And they actually answered me. And they're like, I am so sorry. I've seen other people do it, so I thought it was okay. Now, they could have just been saying whatever, but at least they apologized. So I got to, for anybody who was there and saw that person, they did apologize. And it was a decent exchange, by whatnot DMs. So that was the backstory to it. All right, you guys, before we go any further, I do see some people have pre-bids. Let's go ahead and get to that so they're not waiting forever. But then we have more stuff we can keep talking. And I have my Battle of the Best item to show you guys today. I'm kind of excited about this. All right, what do we have for some pre-bids here? We have a bookend to start with, and then we'll keep talking some more. So there is only one brass bookend of these. I have one. It is I think that's a music note. Is that it? Either to me, it's a music note. Is it a note or a harp? It's a harp. Okay, well, it's musical. There we go. We're in the music family going on here. So we have one brass bookend. I still think it's a harp. Thank you. I still think it's pretty neat, even though there's only one. And we're going to go ahead. Where would you like it? This direction. Okay, thank you. I'm getting hand signals like I'm landing a plane on where I need to put my riser back there. Let me get this going. We're going to run it for 10 seconds. That is up and going. Y'all should see him. He's like doing his hand signals.
It actually is more like a lira.
The bird theory. Thank you so much. That is heading to you. We're going to run through these pre-bids that I see on the screen. This one here is so cute. A lira. Say that again. I can't pronounce words. A lira.
Yeah, that's an old instrument.
All right, we're going to have to zoom in on this. This is a Boyd Art Glass little lady. She would be perfect on one of your printer trays. And it is glass, and she's purple, just like this tiny little purple. Isn't she adorable? Look at the detail for being so little. Look at all the detail on her. I don't know if she lights up. Of course, I don't have my flashlight. There it is. Sometimes purple glass. Oh, I don't have my flashlight to see if it glows. Oh, it's upstairs. I forgot to bring it. We're just going to run it. And she's going now. She's only 2.5 inches tall. Perfect shape, no chips or cracks, really great condition. Oh, Monster Mama, thank you so much. Let's just leave it just like that, honey. We're going to just go through these couple of items here really quick, but you're going to have to zoom out for me. Look at these. We have salt and pepper shakers. I cannot vouch for the vintageness of this, but that's why I do it in the estate category, because some of the stuff I have on Mondays and Wednesdays aren't vintage. They both have their stoppers. I already showed that guy. And they are up and running right now. Little salt and peppers. Blue. Why do they do animals and colors that aren't real animal colors? I've never understood that. Rawson, thank you so much. That is going to you. Congratulations. All right. We'll do a couple more and then we'll come back to these. All right, we'll do one more and then we'll come back to it. Let's do this bowl because this is gorgeous. This is a little trinket bowl, and I cannot make out. Oh, thank you so much, Prem Shopper. We try without being like rude about it. I've got to stop myself from putting things in chats because I've realized when I'm in another show, I love chat shows. And when I go to other shows and I hear misinformation, I want to correct people, which doesn't make me come across very well. I don't want to be a know-it-all all the time. Like I don't want to have that reputation. So I find I have to like bite my tongue quite a bit. Scuba Stevia, the roundtable was amazing. It was really good. We had great conversation. We were talking about scheduling it or winging it. So we'll keep going through it. Let's go ahead and run this item. Then we'll get back to discussions. All right, so we have this bowl, and I'm trying to show you the detail on it. It is so pretty. It is like a black glass, and it has like floral detail around it. And I wish I could make out the maker back there, but for the life of me, I cannot. I don't even know if it says the maker, but I absolutely love this little bowl. And it is running right now. If I do ask, do you know what this is? I'm 63. I do that if they ask, but you all know what this is. I'm not sure if I understand what you're saying, Deb. Monster Mama, thank you so much. Oh, it's Ellie Smith. I did put it in there. I did know who it was. Okay. Let's talk for a while, then we'll get back to running the rest of those pre-bids. All right, Deb, I'm not sure if I know what you're saying. I give them information on the item if they ask. Oh, you say yes. Yeah. I research some things, but not everything. Certain items I research. If you guys want good stories, you want to hear history behind things, Daisy Lane, I was kind of weird talking back and forth a minute ago in the chat. She is the type of seller who does a lot of storytelling and a lot of history behind items. So if you like, I don't want to say a slower show because it still moves, but to have an item shown and really hear about it and learn about it, she's a great show to watch. She's on at 9:45 on Friday nights. She's a good one because almost every item has a good story behind it. I will try to pass on information sometimes. Honestly, I don't research everything. I just don't. Certain items I do, but not on a like every item basis. What is the average profit margin you look for after all the fees and shipping? The curated collector, that really depends because the items, what I sell vary. So like in today's show, we're selling smaller, lesser priced items. They're not $20, $30 items. So the profit margin is a lot slimmer on my Monday, Wednesday shows. On my reverse auction shows, those are my higher end items. They're a bigger profit margin. I control the pricing a lot more. So it's hard to say, but I would estimate anywhere from a 20 to 30% profit margin would be realistic and should be expected in most cases. But again, it's going to vary wildly on what you sell, what the format of your show is. If anybody else has other thoughts on profit margin, please throw it in there. Not that we need to share our personal profit margins. I think that, I don't know, I just don't feel that anybody should feel obligated to share that. But what other, did I miss any questions in here? Is that okay, I think I was the only one. Let's see, what else could we talk about? Let me show you my battle of the best. My next reverse auction, that's a good question. When is it? I was just looking last night. Let me see if I could figure that out here when my next reverse auction is. I've got to go to my Whatnot schedule. I know it's scheduled. I know I can just go look at my shows and see it. So let's see here. I have a whole bunch of stuff back there. I've been preparing for it. We're finding it. I'm scrolling. I want to say May. There it is. April 25th. I'm hearing feedback. Can you fix the feedback? Hey. Sorry, you guys. Hold on. Noah. Okay, thank you. You like that? I always call him honey or my love. Do you guys do that too to your spouse? When you're serious, you call them by their actual name. And then they're like, what the heck? What did I do wrong? You guys, look at this. This is my battle item. So I'm in Battle of the Best again on Sunday. If anybody else is in Battle of the Best, put your time, advertise your item right here. Go ahead and throw it in the chat. If you're in Battle of the Best, put what you're doing. But I have a whole cameo set here. So if we have, are you going to do it from the top? All right. We have a ring. Look at this. I'm not selling this today. This is up there. You guys can actually go see close-up pictures. My show's already listed. But we've got the ring. It's a cameo ring. This is all from an Italian artist. We have the necklace. We have clip-on earrings. And then there's a bracelet. And this is my favorite part, that bracelet. And there are cameos all the way around. So, Southern Charm, I'm going to message you later after the show. Let's talk. Yeah, I Love Discounts has a quilt, a vintage quilt. All right, thank you, honey, for doing that top one. So this is absolutely stunning. I cannot wait. If you guys want to see close-up pictures, my listing is up. Bidding starts at $1. I just put it last night, so I don't think there's any bids yet because I just listed it. But that will be sold on Sunday. My time, what time is my time on Sunday is somewhere. I wrote it down here to tell you guys about it. 12:30 on Sunday, and I'm going to be doing it remote because I will be in Nashville this weekend. So I'll be doing my Battle of the Best show remotely. The cameo set is absolutely gorgeous. It's 10 karat gold. Like I said, it's made by an Italian designer, Gillespie. I've got to figure out how to pronounce his last name. So I probably need to do that before the show, right? Maybe get a little more information. Now that's a time to tell a story. You can come and crash the Battle of the Best show. What time are you on I Love Discounts? Are you 45 minutes from Nashville? So last week I told anybody if anybody's in Nashville, shoot me a message because I'm going to be there all weekend. I know I Love Discounts is going to drive down. We're going to do a little meetup, but maybe we could do like a lunch thing or something. I don't know. Maybe we could do like a impromptu Nashville meetup. Did you give me my first pre-bid? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's gorgeous, you guys. 10 karat gold. We tested it. My husband actually acid tested every piece last night. So we do know that, at least from our acid testing, it's 10 karat gold. Probably early 1900s. It's not antique, but I'm guessing like 20s or 30s maybe. So I guess if it's 20s, we'd be bordering on antique. So Bowling Green, Kentucky, come up and see the Corvettes. Oh, neat. I don't know how much time I'm going to have to drive around. I am going to be in Nashville for a cheer comp. But thankfully, it's good and bad. The comp day, she doesn't have to report till like 4:35 in the afternoon, but that means we're going to be there till like 11 or 12 at night. But that leaves the days open for me to go and do something. So let's talk giveaways really quick, you guys. And then I do see some pre-bids. We'll get to that. I'm going to run another giveaway. We talked about this last week. There is changes to the giveaway rules. They're not new rules. Nothing has changed as far as the rules themselves. How the rules are applied or what you need to do as a seller is what's changed. We talked a lot about this last week. However, over the weekend, because they just changed the terms of service end of last week, I have heard a lot of people talking about this, a lot of other sellers talking about this. And honestly, I've heard some sellers out there bordering on fear-mongering, freaking out of like, oh my God, I can't run giveaways now. And how do I do this? And no. And it's like, oh, it's okay. Calm down. It's okay. So what's happening overall with giveaways is the rules themselves haven't changed. But us as sellers, if you are going to run a giveaway, are now required to post certain information. If you look at the giveaway I have running right now, you'll see in the description a paragraph that looks like legalese. It is a pared down version of what you need to post. There's about 10 different, I'm getting around 10 or so different things that you need to make sure that you are posting. The time it starts, the time it ends, what it is, what the value is, how do you enter, alternate ways of entering, on and on and on. So there's about 10 things. It doesn't mean you can't run giveaways. It doesn't mean that when you get a raid that you can't run a giveaway. Look at the paragraph. I'm happy to share it. We actually, when we found out about this, Daisy Lane reached out to I Love Discounts and myself. We all had a really great conversation. We're like, how are you going to meet this requirement? Here's my idea. And then it was fixed. It was solved just like that. It's not anything to freak out about. And I've actually been taken aback and quite surprised at the panic I have seen over this change when it's not that bad. Will it prompt you on all the questions you need to answer? I'm afraid I'll get in trouble. It will not prompt you. It is up to you to look at help.whatnot.com, read what they have that you need to do. They give you a sample paragraph. The problem with their sample paragraph is that it is too long to fit in an item description. It is too many words. So you have to pare it down. We used ChatGPT. We put all the requirements in there. It gave us a paragraph. We then, yes, you can. Mel and Stella cards. I was just about to say that. We then went and took the paragraph we came up with and I matched one by one. Am I meeting all the requirements? I am. Here we go. If you guys want my paragraph, I am happy to share it with you. Just DM me. I will send you back the paragraph in DM. It's not top secret. It's not proprietary. Can I just put it in the show notes? I may be able to. Let me see. Let me try that. Let me see, because I have it saved. So let's see what I can do. Oh, who won the giveaway? I just missed it. Let me look and say congratulations really quick to whoever just won that giveaway. Oh, I'm frozen. What happened? All right, there we go. Let's see who got the giveaway. If you guys are already saying it, I do not, why is it gone on my screen? Okay, congratulations. I do not see who got that giveaway. If anybody saw who won it, I saw it pop up on my screen. Thank you so much for being here. It's just not showing for me. I don't know what not's acting funky. Oh, it's not drawn? It's still going? Maybe we all froze. Something just popped up on my screen, but it didn't look like a purchase. It looked like the giveaway. Okay. I'm confused. It's whatever it happened. What not being glitchy. We all froze. Okay. Can you, in the background, let's see, can you go to our draft listing and copy and put in our show notes that paragraph that we came up with? Go into inventory in the very top on our drafts and edit the show notes. We're going to try to put it in there for you. I think every time I click out on mine, I'm freezing up the whole screen. So I'm going to, yeah, so I'm not going to click out, but we'll see. If we can't get it in the show notes and you guys want a copy of it, you can see it from the shop. There you go. I mean, it's in there. You can copy it. And that's it. Daisy Lane, I totally agree. Just came in, so we have terms and conditions for giveaways now. Yes, you just need to include a paragraph. Look at my paragraph we have, copy and paste it into yours. Go into our inventory, go to drafts. It should be at the very top one. And then just open it up, copy the description, and paste it into the show notes. You just have to post it. I can't tell you guys how many people I've heard freaking out about this weekend. Like legit, like, oh, but I don't know when the raid's going to come. It doesn't matter when a raid comes in. You say the time it's going to start. Giveaways start when posted. Host will announce. Giveaway ends 5 minutes after they start. It's pretty simple. So just click notes and then you can edit them. You can go down and edit them. Okay, Elena loves Billy. Congratulations. You got that giveaway. I don't know what my screen was doing earlier. So it's just run. You can, if you do giveaways, again, now you don't have to do giveaways. If you do giveaways, that's all you need to do. If you hear people freaking out about it, just block it and move on, like in your ears, not block them. Just, don't worry about it. You have to do announcement at the beginning of the show or right before the beginning. You don't have to actually announce it. Now, nothing has changed in the rules. The only thing that has changed is Whatnot has taken the liability off of them and put it on you as a seller. So instead of Whatnot stating all the rules, you have to. It's as simple as putting a paragraph in the description. You still have to show or adequately describe your item. That's always been a rule. You can't just say, oh, I'm doing a giveaway and not say what it is. I know a lot of people do that. It's against terms of service. But at least once you have to show your item. And my interpretation of it is I put a detailed description on my giveaways. So is it posted now? Oh, it doesn't fit. Okay, you guys, it's not fitting in my show notes with all the rest of my information. I'm sad the follow for live notifications has changed. I haven't changed mine yet. I hate to charge people in order to follow. They don't have to follow you. You don't have to charge them to follow you. They don't have to follow you. Let me get this right. So yes, people were putting notifications like this. We're moving on to the next thing that's changed. People were doing notifications like this. Get notified when such and such is live. What happening was instead of $3, $1, $5, $7, $10, some reasonable price, we were putting $99999, right? Just under $1 million. We're not allowed to do it. It has to be a reasonable price and you have to list something that they can purchase. They do not have to purchase it. All they have to do is like it. As long as they like that listing and then you pin it, they get notified. So it's not like they have to pay to follow you. That's not it at all. But what was happening is, let's think about this. People don't read. They weren't doing what they were supposed to. It's there. Okay. All right. That our giveaway paragraphs in our show notes, if you want to copy it from there. My husband was able to post it. People are probably clicking on it and it was causing Whatnot to have to go and, reverse things. So all you have to do is just make the price reasonable. That's all you have to do. If you have random cards or whatever for a giveaway, can you show a random example and state it as, yeah, you can do that. Even if it's not exact, you can say, I have random vintage postcards and I will pick from some of these random cards. You're going to get 2, 3, 4 of them, whatever it is. As long as you're being accurate in your description. It goes back to the scammers who will say, you're going to get this and then you get something else. I'm going to give you a car and you get a Hot Wheels car instead of a real car, right? I know that's an extreme example, but it's that type of deception that they're trying to avoid. Thank you so much, Deb. Please ask any questions, you guys, because if I can't answer them, there's a lot of smart people in this chat. They can answer it if I don't know the answer. So please, if you have questions, throw it in there because it just makes things better this way. Oh, you're not kidnapping my show. That's what we're here for. We talk about anything on Mondays and Wednesdays. For those of you who don't know, I am not a natural talker. I actually started these Monday, Wednesday shows so I could do unscripted chit chat. I know it looks like it's scripted. These are just a few bullet points. There's no real notes here. If you come to my Friday show, I have pages of like, not scripted, but actual detailed notes because it's more of a educational show. So I started these shows because I don't just chit chat naturally about topics. I find that very difficult. I'm way over on the schedule type A side of the scale there. So I started these shows to practice, to learn to talk, just to talk to the chat, to be interactive as a way of pushing myself outside my comfort zone. So when you guys are asking questions, that makes it so much better for me because then it's more relaxing. It's more easier for me just to interact that way than to try to be like, I always have a few things like, okay, if the chat's really quiet, I can bring this up or talk about this. But so I do. So go ahead. I see him leaning in like he's going to talk.
To Lewis, and now you tell me, I'm gonna go ahead and start putting them on the bin. Maybe I can sell them.
On Fridays, because we do an hour of business, an hour of tax, I have a whole like bullet points that I'm going over. My Friday shows also correlate to a book that I have out for those shows. So I have to be more specific. Here, it's kind of a free for all. Usually first thing in the morning, I'm like, hey, what's going on whatnot? Let's jot some stuff down. So, did I miss any other questions? Okay, I think we're good. So what else are we going to talk about? Let's see, what you use is your camera. I haven't had my first show yet. I was thinking about using my iPad so the chat would be larger. Delta, is it Delta? Yes, Delta. We're a little bit different. I'll tell you what we use. However, we are different, and then I'm going to tell you what most people use. We use 7 different cameras. It runs through a computer screen. My husband has mixers and soundboards and the whole bit. He's a little extra. I'm not extra. My husband's extra. So we go extra fancy, but thank you for your purchase from the bin. That's his his hobby. So he does that.
I've been doing multimedia for almost 30 years. So throughout the years, I accumulated a lot of different equipment because of my 9-to-5 that I used to have. So I put that equipment to work when she started doing this.
Yes. Most people just use their phone. What I suggest, if you have a hard time seeing the chat, because I am at an age where I can barely read the chat on my iPad or my phone, mirror your phone to a TV. I have a TV screen right here behind my camera that allows the chat to be a lot bigger and I can see it from 5 feet away. So take an old TV, or if you have the money to buy a TV, put it on a stand, mirror your phone to a TV. It works great. Choco Dog, yep, using a computer helps too. Start it on a phone. You can use your phone as your camera and then go start your show on your computer as your secondary device. You can run stuff from the computer. You can read the chat. Your picture, now you won't see the video feed, but you'll see chat and you can run items on your second device. So it doesn't, yeah, he just comes from behind. You just hear his voice.
I'll give you a little glimpse.
Oh, there he goes. And he's going to move our cameras around. So that is what I look at. So that's what you're seeing right now is my view. You see my little ducks in the chat sign? Because I always forget. I'm trying to do emojis and I forget. So that's my sign to remind me. And I still forget even with the sign sitting right here in front of my face. So. Bougie. We are, he's bougie. I'm bougie in other ways. I'll admit I'm very bougie in a lot of other ways, just not that way. Yes, thank you for the ducks in the chat. I always forget to say that. I'm trying to go to using emojis.
But depending on what you're going to sell, and I'm going to quote Green 13, If you're trying to do some close-ups, like for jewelry and stuff, you want something that is going to give you the best image. So a camera on an iPad, I would suggest not to get the cheapest one, because the camera is not going to be all that great. So check the camera and see what is the zoom that it'll give you. That way you can make a better judgment. That's my opinion.
Yeah, if you're just starting out, you don't need to be like, you can go basic equipment, a light, a camera, make sure that they can see the item, and have your phone, I say camera, your iPhone, your Android. I do suggest an iPhone for Whatnot, only because there's features on an iPhone that the Androids don't have when it comes to Whatnot. But again, if all you have is an Android and you're tight on money, that works too. You don't have to go super fancy. If you use an Android, the external mic will make a world of difference to sound. It does. So we use a mic. We have a couple of microphones depending on what we're doing. I think microphones, absolutely. Here's the problem when you don't have a microphone. So you can see mine right here. When you don't have a microphone and your camera's in front of you, right? What do we do as sellers? We lean over here to grab something. We turn around. We go over there. Every time you turn away from that phone, your audience can't hear you. It gets very muffled. So that's why I suggest a mic. Again, though, it's not necessary to do it right away. That's a down the road type purchase when you're making money. You have the newest iPhone? Cool. Yeah, that'll work great. Let's go ahead. I do see some pre-bids. Let's go get those done, and then we'll keep talking some more. So our first one is this beautiful milk glass dish. I actually have one just like it. It's a little cherub. It's a soap dish, actually, and that's a cherub in there. Beautiful shell-shaped, and I want to say it's Avon. It is Avon. It says Avon right there on the back. I know you can't see it, but it does say Avon right there. My husband will tell you what mic. I don't know the brand. He handles that.
I use different ones, but mostly for the wireless that she has, it's called Holy Land. And if you send me a DM, I'm putting it in the chat here in a minute. I can give you the exact brandings. All
right. This cherub Avon soap dish is up and running. I don't know if I'd use it for soap because I wouldn't want soap residue in there. I think it's beautiful as like a little trinket dish. And Binky, you got that. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Next up, we're going to do this creamer. This is one of those really heavy, like chunky creamers. It's not super big, but it's nice and thick creamer. There you go. And it has such a pretty picture on there, but it is one of those really thick ceramic creamers. No maker's marks on the bottom. But I love the weight to it. And that's going right now. Up and running. Oh, thank you so much, Deb.
Deb, I'm the wizard. The
Shalom.
Wizard behind the curtain. Shalom. Good morning.
All right. We have two more pre-bids, or three more. We're going to go ahead and get through all of these pre-bids really quick. So we have two little ceramic geese. I always get my birds mixed up. These ones are geese. Good morning. They say RC on the bottom. I do not know who RC is. They are in great shape. Figurines, two of them. 3.5 inches is the tall one, about 4 inches wide on the longer one. And they are running right now. I like that they're all, like it's just plain white. I like the simplicity of it.
Choco Dog, no. If you're running on an iPad and on a phone, one of them will not have the feed. If you're running on an iPhone or
Shalom, thank you so much.
If you're running on a phone, a computer, or an iPad and computer, then you do. Oh my God, she just switched me.
I just keep switching. I keep putting stuff up. Okay, this is the last thing I see as a pre-bid. So we're gonna run this final one, and then we'll talk some more. Look at how cute this guy is. He's just like a little dopey donkey or horse. He is so cute. It is ceramic. Very character or cartoony kind of look to him. It does say Japan right there on his belly. So he is made in Japan. And we're going to run him right now. I like how kind of like dopey. He looks like dopey, happy, like a sunny day on a farm. Thank you all for your bids. And Choco Dog, that is going to you. Congratulations. Thank you so much. All right, I do see a few more, but we're going to talk for a bit, then we'll get back to the pre-bids.
On its way to you.
We'll come right back to it. I'm about to drive to work. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Have a great day at work. I have to go to work today too, you guys. I'm taking Thursday and Friday off my 9 to 5, so that means Monday through Wednesday, I have to work like a little bit harder, which I think I work hard all the time, but you know how it is when you're about to go on vacation, you got to put in a little extra before you go. That's what today's going to be. So speaking of stuff, and Shalom, I saw Shalom's name in there. I'm going to be in a raid train tomorrow morning, you guys. Normally I'm not on Tuesday mornings, but I got invited to Surge to 1K. It's a new seller raid train. New seller Surge to 1K. Have a good day. I love discounts. I'm going to message you in a little while too. So I am going to be on this raid train tomorrow. It is Shalom Y'all and Grammy G 55502. You'll see her name right there. They are running it. And it is right there. You see it tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Excuse me. My time is 7:50. And I decided I'm going to bring jewelry. Hold on real quick. I'm telling him to cut my mic. Thank you. Sorry about that. I'm like trying not to cough in your guys' ear. I'm like, cut the mic off. I'm going to cough. Are there any spots left? I don't know. But reach out to Shalom Y'all. We'll put their names in the chat. We'll tag them. Or Grammy G. I think this is a raid train that they're doing reoccurring. So if there's no spots, I don't know if there's spots tomorrow or not. I'm sure there'll be some in upcoming ones. Really great train. So I got a 10-minute spot and I'm going to sell jewelry. So we'll talk about jewelry for a second here. I'm going to be selling some costume stuff tomorrow, maybe a little bit of sterling. I only have 10 minutes, so I'm not going to sell a whole lot. However, the reason I'm doing jewelry is some of you have known that as of January 1st, we tried to go into sterling silver. I wanted to not just do vintage, but add on jewelry to my whole whatnot kind of product lines here. And we've decided we're not doing jewelry anymore. We are out. If you were in my show last Friday, I talked a lot about every quarter you should take some time to reflect. It's a good natural break that's kind of built into the year every 3 months, right? To stop and look back and where you are, what's worked well, what hasn't. And doing so, we've been really struggling with the jewelry. It is not easy breaking into another category. And I don't think people should just quit. I'm not a quitter, and I don't look at this as failure. I look at this as a learning experience. But looking back, if you're doing something and you're not making money, that could be okay. That's not always a reason to change. If you're looking back and you're like, okay, I'm not making a profit, but I'm trending. I'm seeing where I'm growing. I'm seeing where there is potential for this to be great and for me to make a profit. I think I will hit that profit mark in the next 3 to 6 months, whatever it may be. And I have the resources to absorb the loss until then. Because very few endeavors are profitable right out of the gate. Very few are. So just the fact of not making money to me is not enough to be like, okay, this isn't working. However, we look back on our jewelry. While we were getting engagement, I was not, and we were making sales. It still wasn't even enough profit for me to have enough money to reinvest into more inventory and to look at the numbers and say, I can even see something down the road as this being good. That doesn't mean that next year might not be our time to do it again, or 6 months down the road may not be our time. Right now is not our time. So we have just a little bit of inventory stock of our jewelry left. I'm going to be selling it at various points in different shows, here and there, dripping it in bits and pieces. So tomorrow's a good opportunity for me to go ahead. I have some cameos coming tomorrow, not the ones I just showed, but I have a few cameos for tomorrow morning and some other jewelry that I'll be selling. We dropped from 4 days to 2 days to ease on sourcing. Exactly. Jewelry is tough. I mean, while we were selling it, and I'm super thankful, trust me, super thankful for the sales we made and the people who showed up and purchased from us, the prices that we buy at, and, we tried different price points. It's not there. It's just not jiving. It's not making good business sense. And this was something I talked about on Friday, is that if it doesn't make good business sense, it's okay to change it. Strategically adjust, do something different. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's not a personal reflection on you. The only time it becomes a personal reflection is when you like did it once and like, oh, it didn't work. Well, you didn't try hard enough, right? But if you've done something consistently for a good period of time and it's not working, maybe we need to change what we're doing, right? That's where we're at with jewelry. And, people say, is there a certain day or time of the week that has been the best for you? Do you recommend going live once a week or more for new sellers? Delta, that's a great question. And that actually kind of goes into this whole thing with us is, so first of all, there's not a certain day or time. You have to find that part that works for you. And it may be different for everybody based on what you sell and what your show experience is like. There are people that are making a killing on Whatnot at 2 o'clock in the morning. There's some doing it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, doing very well. So I don't think there's a magic day or hour. If there was, everybody would be on that magic day and hour. So you need to find what works for you. As a beginning brand new seller, I suggest going on as much as you can adequately have inventory for and ship, because the shipping is what gets us, right? So you go as much as you can. However, the one key thing here that I think a lot of new sellers miss, because they start, well, I'll try Monday at 7 and then Tuesday at 4 and then Wednesday at midnight or whatever. The one key thing that I think a lot of new sellers miss, pick one day and one time to have an anchor show. Have at least one show a week that you do not move for a long period of time. People need to know, as you're building your audience, who you are, where they can find you, and what time. They need to rely on something, at least one show. The rest of them, experiment. Figure out where your slot is. But for that, at least have one show that's an anchor show. Then as you move on, and if you're like, okay, and I'll take, for example, ourselves, Saturday at 4 has been an anchor show for us for almost 2 years now. We've been doing a Saturday at 4 o'clock show. I haven't changed it. In the course of the time I've been on Whatnot, I've done more other shows throughout the week at different times, playing around with different things, run a series of different shows. Saturday at 4 has never changed. No matter what, whatever happens all the rest of the days of the week, people know they can come a Saturday at 4. Now, over time, that may change. Perfect example is my Saturdays at 4 are now going to Saturdays at 8 a.m. However, it's not just like, boom, I'm changing. I have 2 weeks before this change takes place. So every single show, guess what you're going to hear me say? Hey, everybody, don't forget, my Saturdays are going down to 8 a.m. That is now becoming my new anchor show. So I would highly recommend get yourself an anchor show and then test out other times. It would be nice if Whatnot would share stats of when buyers and sellers are online over a duration so we can see those. You can kind of see that. You can't see it in as much detail as we may want, but you can kind of see it, and I'll tell you how. Go ahead. You were going to say something? Okay. How do you compute, and I'll tell you how in just a second. How do your computer input the bundles for shipping? We don't input the bundles for shipping. Whatnot does that automatically. So don't even worry about it. As long as you're putting in the proper weights for your items, Whatnot will bundle. The way they bundle is according to the customer zip code, the weight of the item. So how far away they are from you and what it weighs. Whatnot will bundle it in a way that's most advantageous to save on shipping. Then it's up to you, if all of those items don't fit in one box, to unbundle to make boxes to ship.
Rosalind, you can actually kind of see, if you go to the categories, it'll tell you. Let me see.
Yeah, I'll show you on here.
I'll show you here.
Oh, he's going to show you. So this is a way to kind of see what's happening.
You can see in the categories, it tells you how many viewers are on each category right now.
So this is something you might want to check. So throughout the week, if you're considering different times, if you're considering a 3 o'clock time or a 6 o'clock, yes, I've seen that under the main category. Yep. So you can at least see how many viewers are on at different points throughout the day to help you kind of say, you know what, I'm in this category and there's never any viewers on at 7 in the morning, but there's a ton of viewers on at 7 at night. And that might help you start to determine. You could do advanced search and see actual upcoming show count. Oh, Forgotten Memories. I did not know you can do that. That's interesting. I'm going to have to play around with that. See, we all learned something new today. But it almost I think it takes some time. I think you need to have that one anchor show, at least establish yourself on that anchor show for a good 6 months or so before you change that while you keep searching. I have realized that mornings work best for me. I get more people in the mornings than I do in the evening. On Fridays, and the way I've kind of realized this, 7 a.m. on Fridays, I do 2-hour business and tax talk show every Friday morning. I do a similar tax show on Friday evenings at 6:30. I specifically scheduled it at 6:30 on Friday evenings, trying to get in the West Coast crowd. I can barely get 10 or 15 people in a room on a Friday night talking about the same stuff that I can get 50 people in the morning. And I don't say that in a bragging way. I'm just saying that in a data way. When I'm looking and analyzing stuff, I'm like, the numbers are so much lower for me at night. I've also noticed things may change for you over time. What works for you right now may not be what works for you a year from now. Like I said, my Saturday at 4 has worked for 2 years. Around January of this year, I started noticing the number of people in my room were slightly declining. My bid prices were a little bit lower. And this was at the very beginning of January. So I'm like, oh, okay, 1 or 2 shows. It's right after Christmas. People may be just short on money. Maybe they have some New Year's resolutions not to spend so much. Let's give it some time. But then I saw that trend continuing. I was still having sold out shows. I was still having people in the shows. I was still selling stuff. But overall, compared to my data from the last year, I saw a decline. My Saturdays at 4 are not working in the same manner they used to. Do you think it messes up the algorithm if you add in a pop-up show? I don't think so. And I don't, you know what? Here's my whole thing on the algorithm. This is a pet peeve of mine. There are sellers out there who will tell you, you do this, it helps you in the algorithm. Put hearts in the chat, have a stuff going on, it helps you in the algorithm. The only thing we know 100% for sure that helps in the algorithm is having sales. Why do we know that? Whatnot is a business. What does Whatnot want? Money from every sale you make. So the only thing we know 100% that is going to help you in the algorithm is people bidding on your stuff, like making sales, selling things. Other than that, we don't know. The only people that know are the people at Whatnot that programmed this algorithm to begin with. So do what works for you. If you can do pop-ups, if you can commit to 1 show a week that you can schedule it in and you know it for sure, do that and then do pop-ups as you can, because you're selling stuff. It's not going to hurt you.
Thrift NFT. We just discussed that a little bit earlier, but if you check the show notes, I posted the verbiage of what we use for the giveaways now.
Yeah, so if you guys missed, if you're just coming in, because I do know people come and go throughout shows. So I'm not going to repeat the whole thing for the people that were here. You don't need to hear it all again. Nothing has really changed with giveaways except for the fact that the liability has shifted from Whatnot to us as sellers. There are requirements that we must post on all of our giveaways. I'll run a giveaway right now. It's in the giveaway. You can also, we have it in our show notes. If you want to copy and paste, you can use ours. Copy and paste it, put it in your description of your giveaways, and you're good.
Captain, you can do a talk show about a lot of different things if you have the expertise to share. A lot of new sellers are coming in and putting support shows, but it's not really a support show because they don't have the expertise.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do a talk show, make sure that the talk show is about the expertise that you have, and you have that type of expertise to back it up. That way your information is accurate, your credibility is intact, and it's a success. Otherwise, if it's just a talk show for a talk show, that's going to be 1,000,001.
Forgotten Memories, thank you. That is a very good point. ARV, if you guys see Forgotten Memories, comment there. ARV is your average retail value. Make sure you change it. And that's the value of your giveaway. That's what that means. So mine, what I give away is $5. That's the average retail value because we do a CEO card and a vintage postcard. So it equals to about $5. You don't have to be exact. You don't have to be down to the penny. Get a very good guesstimate, right? But make sure you change it to match whatever you're giving away. I want to do a little bit more answer to Captain's question. There are advantages to a talk show. One, like my husband said, I think new sellers, is my personal opinion, but I know other people share this opinion, is new sellers trying to do a seller support show. It's like a baby who can't walk yet trying to tell you how to walk. You don't know even what you're doing. You can't provide seller support. However, a new seller doing a let's get to know me show, or I have an expertise in this, I want to share with you show, is totally good. The advantages to doing a talk show is if you don't have the amount of inventory to do 4 or 5 shows a week, but you can add in a talk show, it gets you in front of people. It gets your name still out there. It's a form of marketing. It's also a form of making connections, of meeting people. It's easier to sit here and pay attention to my chat and talk and interact if I'm not also trying to sell. It takes a whole element away and allows me to interact and get to know people, and people to get to know me on a more personal level. So there's definitely advantages to it. I think, let's see, it doesn't have to say something about Whatnot being a part of the giveaway. Doesn't it have to say something about Whatnot? I think, doesn't it say at the end of it that Whatnot is held? Let me look at the notes. Void or prohibited whenever you know that. Let me go back and double check. If it does, I will add another sentence onto that. But let me go back and check. Good point. I love discounts. I'll go back and check it. I think talk shows could be great. I do this one as a talk and sell. And I was talking about this at the very beginning. The reason I do this one is I'm not good at chit chat. I wanted to learn to interact better with my chat. I wanted to be able to talk freely without going by notes so much. So this is a show to help me grow. I sell things too, 1, because we know that's the only thing we know that does help the algorithm. And 2, honestly, the whole reason I made this a chat and sell was if I sell, it gives me a little bit of a moment to rethink, to kind of take a breath and say, okay, what's another topic we can talk about? It was kind of an out for me starting this. I'm not a natural chit chatter, so coming up with things to say can be very difficult for me. So I originally started selling stuff just as to give me a quick moment to breathe and to think. And then I realized, hey, I kind of like the way it works. And so I kept going with it. Will shipping and odd size boxes affect the ship prices, or will it still be based on weight like pictures with glass? Delta, no, it does affect it. You always, I'm going to say this very clear. You always have to change your box size if it is greater than 12 by 12 by 12. I don't care what any big seller selling you shipping advice says. You always have to change a box size. It is federal regulation. It is in the post office rules. It is also in our terms of service. So yes, it will affect your prices. A lot of times your free adjustments will cover it, but if not, you as the seller must cover it if you don't set up a custom profile and pass that charge on to the buyer. When you go to Ship Delta, you click on your shipment. It comes up on the right side of the screen on your computer. Selling shipment. I'm not going to call people out by name. Yes, it's the 1728. So what they're referring to is 1728. Rawson, you got that giveaway. Congratulations. If you take 12, okay, all of Whatnot shipping is based on a standard box of 12 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches. If you multiply 12 by 12 by 12, you come up with 1728. That's called dimensional weight. Anything over 1728, the price goes up. Now, if I do a 14 by 12 by 10, that's still dimensionally 1728. There's not an extra charge for that. But if I do a 16 by 14 by 10, there's an extra charge for that. Martina, you're funny. Free adjustments. So you can do your free adjustments. Whatnot gives you 5. And the reason they give you 5 per week, 5 per week, I think they set like late Sunday night, early Monday morning, somewhere in that time frame. The reason you get 5 is, if you've noticed, shipping isn't exact to the ounce. There is a range, 1 to 3, 5 to 8, whatever it may be. And when you put in a 5 to 8, you're charged 8. You're not charged 5. You're charged 8. So weight is always, in Whatnot shipping, rounded up to the highest point of whatever that level is. So therefore, to kind of make a compromise to that, you are allowed 5 free adjustments. Regardless of what anybody tells you, it is okay to use your adjustments. There is nothing in terms of service that tells you do not use your adjustments. What terms of service says is try to be as accurate as you can on the front end. That's what they're saying, but they do not say don't use them. So you get those adjustments when you're shipping, and you go in there, you weigh your box, You know what the measurements are and you adjust it. If it's overweight or over the size, it'll cost more, and those adjustments will cover up to a certain amount of an increase. What else am I missing? Daisy Lane says, I started my first chat 2 weeks into document my whatnot journey. 40 years selling, but live selling was new to me. Didn't answer. Exactly. But Daisy Lane, when you did your chats, you were like just talking to people. You were telling stories. You were getting to know people. And then as you learned things, you passed on what you were learning. It wasn't like you advertised, let me go and tell you how to do whatnot because I've been doing it for 2 weeks. It was more of this, I want to get to know you. Let's let you get to know me and we can go down this road together. It was a very different type of an approach, which is what I'm saying is new sellers. I see new sellers with 300 sales and they're like, I'm going to give you seller support. Let me tell you how to run whatnot. I'm like, girl, you haven't even like learned to walk yet. What are you doing? Don't forget to weigh your packing material. It does. Absolutely. If you generate the label, you can go back and change it. But here, you can absolutely, there's a way in your shipping on your screen to change it. Don't generate your label before you weigh your box and put the proper weight and the dimensions in there. If you need a packing list, you can go and print a packing list without a label. Pack your box, put it on a scale, go and make it right, and then print your label. When you see these shipping shows and they have a stack of labels already printed, all that does is scream to me that I don't follow the rules. That's what they're telling you. They're like, I don't follow the rules because I don't change any dimensions.
Reclaim Vintage, it would take the adjustment automatically until you run out of them. And then after that, it'll start charging you.
But only up to a certain point. So like if you put in that, you messed up on your weights and you thought everything together weighed 4 pounds, but it weighs 20 pounds, there's a certain limit that whatnot will adjust to. I don't know what the dollar amount is off the top of my head. It is probably in help.whatnot.com somewhere where you can find it. But adjustments are capped at a certain dollar. But when you're talking $2 or $3 adjustments, Whatnot covers the majority of those. I sold a 15-ounce item, person 1 ounce Givey. Whatnot charged me over $6. Thought it was because
Good morning, Tober.
Still charged $6+. I don't know the birth there. Are you sure the Givey was put in there as a PWE and not a other one? Oh, but you know what? Well, I don't know. I guess I'd have to see the original setup to try to diagnose it, like kind of back in to figure that one out. Does changing the measurements on boxes small? No. Reclaimed, it does not. And here's the thing with going smaller on box sizes. You don't necessarily have to go smaller. You can, and there's a good reason to do so. People will tell you to do smaller box sizes to be more accurate, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. You can. If your package, if Whatnot automatically puts it in as 12 by 12 by 12, right? But let's just say you do an 8 by 8 by 8, and you just leave it at 12 by 12 by 12 because, hey, I'm smaller. It's okay. It doesn't change the fees. I'm not like misusing the system. If you ship that box and it gets lost and you file a claim, you're like, hey, can you help find this box? The post office is looking for a 12 by 12 by 12 box because that's what you put on the label. When in all actuality, it's a smaller sized box. So it makes it harder for them to locate it. That's probably the biggest reason people will go down in size is for that reason. I do not go down in size. If it's less than 12 by 12 by 12, I never go down. Why? Because in 2.5 years, I've only had one shipment ever lost at the post office. The extra time it takes me week after week after week to change the box sizes, to me, there's no benefit to that. There's no return on that time. So I don't do it because it's not required and I don't see the overall benefit. But you don't have to if it's less than 12 by 12. If it's over all the time, you have to change it. Have to break down or cut them down. Oh yeah, a few inches. You could, to get to that 12 by 12, you might just have to trim a box a little bit sometimes. So there's a lot of people who do shipping videos. Is that what you put in there? Did you? Yeah. So he put in, changing it down for small, but there's nothing wrong with it either. If you want to get in that habit, because who knows? There could be a day that Whatnot says, hey, guess what, everybody? We want exact box sizes, even if you're smaller. And if you're already doing it, that change wouldn't affect you. You're already in that habit. But if you're like me, that doesn't go down, I'm going to be like, okay, now I've got to institute this as part of my process, right? So 15 to 6 priority, they will pay the, okay. Thank you, Natural State of High. Yeah, I just know that I never get charged for the very really small adjustments, but the other ones I always get charged. Okay, my husband is reminding me that we have some pre-bids, so let's go ahead and go take care of those really quick. Let's see. Let's do these pre-bids. If you bought the item first and then you won the Givey, what happens with the shipping you paid first? Now I'm gonna let Natural State of High answer that one, but I'm gonna wait and see because I have a thought on what happens, but I don't know if I'm 100% correct on my answer. So, all right, let's do this Global Bell here. We're gonna run this. Oh, that's not. I hate y'all. Little piece of TMI about Tracy. I cannot stand the sound of bells or music boxes. I like the sensory thing of the sound. Just I can't do it. But there is a pretty Global Bell. This one is a 1979, almost 50 years old. Look at that. It is Hummel. Did I say Global? It is Global. Yes. There's a Global mark right in there. So it is a Hummel bell. It is adorable. It does have the little clapper in there. It is in great shape. And we're going to go ahead and run it. It is a pretty one. Look at that little girl on the front. Thank you for your bids. He has to put the camera on me right when I'm trying to sneak a drink of my coffee. Shalom, thank you so much. That is going to you. And then we'll do this piece here. This is probably my favorite one of the day. I think this is so unique and so pretty. Look at this. It is a little trinket dish. It may be a soap dish. I would say it's a trinket dish. But look, it has shell feet. It is like a big old clamshell. And okay. Which camera? We're going to go back and forth. We're going to fight on cameras. We're going to go back and forth. It is so pretty. Let me just rub my finger around because I just want to make sure. I'm not feeling any chippies or flea bites on there. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm pretty sure it is hand painted. We have some marks down here from the makers that I can't read, but I think that is such a beautiful little piece there. And that's running right now. Let's see, what is Loom? Loom says, I am a newbie and I hear you are. Oh, thank you so much. I don't know if I'm the best. I try to explain it, but I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. Oh, Monster Mama, congratulations. You got my favorite one today. Let me move this out of the way. All right, what time are we at? Oh, we're still good on time. What's this? I bought a lot of whatnot from one seller and I paid $9.21 max shipping. Received a box that was 25 by 36 by 18 and 40 pounds. So you won't know, Captain, you as a buyer, you won't know. The only clue that you're going to get if that seller is being honest is on the label, it'll have a weight. So what happens if it was max shipping and the box was that size and it weighed that much? The seller should have had to pay for all that extra. And as the buyer, the only clue you'll have if they did it right is on the shipping label. If they change the weight to 40 pounds, then you're kind of like, okay, they changed the weight. They're probably doing the right thing. But if that weight said like 5 pounds, that seller probably is not being honest in their shipping. But other than that, there's no way for you to actually know if the seller's being honest or not. Now, there are other big sellers on this app who will blatantly tell you misinformation. They will blatantly sell you information. It said 40. So, okay, if it said 40, then they probably changed it to the right thing. And I would assume if I got that seller is being an honest seller. And what happens is they paid any overages. So that's what we do as sellers. If we advertise reduced shipping, we assume the cost over and above. And we need to assume it following the rules. Yeah, there's not a flat. Oh, did it have flat rate? Did I read? Yeah, no, it was just flat. No, you didn't say flat rate. Okay. So there are sellers who will blatantly sell you advice. Oh, okay. Sorry. You know me, just very easy just to make me not understand something. Let me go back. There are sellers who will blatantly sell you advice that you can get for free. I will continue to speak out about it. It has got me blocked from one other seller, and I'm okay with that. I will blatantly speak out against selling you information that you can go to FAQs and whatnot. Do not buy shipping information that you can get for free. Okay. There is no magic shipping recipe. There is no magic shipping formula. There's no magic shipping anything that's going to save you money. What there is Whatnot shipping that's already the best rates out of any platform that there is. And if you use Whatnot shipping in the way it was designed, you're going to save money just by using Whatnot shipping. As you grow, as you learn, you can incorporate custom listings, custom shipping profiles, excuse me, let me say it right, that may help you in certain circumstances. Southern Charm, you got that giveaway. Congratulations. Thank you for, as always, for being here. So, I'm sorry, honey, you're trying to tell me something and I don't know what you're saying. Do giveaway. Does media mail apply? I don't know. My husband's like, you're missing a comment. For the life of me, I do not see this comment. Can you just answer it? If you see it and I don't, can you answer it, please? Okay. Do giveaways were t-shirts? Box, I'm not sure what you're saying. The giveaways were t-shirts. Hold on. I'm missing something that you're saying. I sold 140 books to 40 people on Saturday. Made the mistake of bundling all the shipments, so each buyer only got one package because of 10 giveaways. I don't know. The giveaways were t-shirts. I'm still not understanding. Thank you, my love. Okay. I'm looking. I'm missing the whole conversation. Okay, y'all, I'm just going to move on because my husband's like freaking out over here like I'm missing something and I do not know what I'm missing. Please ask your question again. Thank you, Kimmy, because I am lost. I'm trying to find it in the chat and I cannot find the question. And obviously my husband sees it and I don't. So thank you. Forgotten memories. Thank you very much. So what I now with all of that, I totally lost what I was saying. Sellers selling you stuff that you could buy for or get for free. Just don't do it. If you're going to buy something, the information should be stuff that's not free and whatnot. So I will continue to speak out against that. I will also continue to speak out against sellers who are giving you bad information. Thank you. Are bad. I am totally lost. Y'all, can I fire my husband? Because he like gets going over there and I'm like, I can't. can't. One thing at a time. I only can focus on one thing. I squirrel too much. And every show I tell him, I'm like, you got to stop because this is 3 times? We need a counter. I need someone to be my official counter on how many times I'll lose my train of thought. When you say bundling, do you mean that you set a max shipping cost for buyers? When I say bundling, and I don't know anybody else, but bundling to me means Whatnot bundling. Yes, just tell them to talk. Exactly. Don't mess me up. Listen to these people. This is you. I squirrel so bad. And it's like, if I'm talking and then he starts to go with his, like, trying to tell me something, I'm like, I can't do 2 thoughts at one time. I need 1 thought at one time. Sorry, I lost my sound. I bundled them when I was doing. Okay, I think Book Exchange, what's happening, somebody's helped me out in Red Chat. I think what's happening is because you were doing books and t-shirts aren't media mail, and that was messing up your prices. That's what I think is happening. It sounds like from the chat. So yes, use your big boy voice. Thank you very much. I'm going to go back to talking about sellers selling you stuff. Y'all, it's up to us. I was on this rant last week. I'm not going to get on the full rant again. But last week I was talking about sellers. Last Wednesday, I think it was. I was talking about sellers who sell stuff that they either shouldn't sell, that you can get for free, or that they use ChatGPT and make no qualms about it and specifically say it. Somebody put something in my chat. The person in my chat, it was a very nice comment. They were just like, hey, yeah, and this happens too. It was a normal comment, nothing wrong with the comment. They got blocked, not from my show. They got blocked from somebody else's show, and they weren't even in that person's show. They were in my show and made a simple comment and didn't call anybody out by name. This is ridiculous. We're a community. Why are we so freaking block happy? Like, I've literally blocked 2 people in 2 years. Now, if it's a troll, if they're being discriminatory or blatantly just nasty and rude, by all means block them. We don't need nastiness. But come on, people. We don't need to be a block society. We're supposed to be a community, and I think we need to treat each other in that way. Having said that, though, He sounds like the great when he comes in from the background. He does, doesn't he, Captain? But having said that, though, we as buyers also have to be careful. And all of us are sellers on here. Most of us are buyers too. We have to be careful about who we're supporting. The way we vote on whatnot, we vote by going into shows and we vote with our dollars. If we don't like what we're seeing, quit voting for these people. Quit going in their shows and quit spending your dollars. There are people, I'm going to take this back to the shipping so that we can just kind of wrap this up and talk about something else. But there are people who are blatantly tell you to ship incorrectly. And they're wrong. And what happens is they're big sellers, and newbies come on here and new people see it and they're like, oh, if this big person is doing it and they're making all this money, then I can do it too. And it's wrong. Don't listen to them. Don't do it. Read terms of service. You know whose rules we have to follow? We follow Whatnot's rules. That's who we follow. We don't follow Mr. this person or Mrs. that person. So that's my rant. I just get so angry that the misinformation that's out there, where it's really simple. Whatnot has a set of rules. Go read them. That's all we have to do.
Yes, that's me, the wizard.
If you guys like those hoodies, and this is how we promote people. If you like those hoodies, show them your hoodie. This is TLC Mama Bear. TLC Mama Bear makes these hoodies. Are you going to show them the hoodie?
Give me 1 second.
She makes these hoodies. It's her original artwork. She is another seller on here out of Puerto Rico. Really awesome. I saw his hoodie and I'm like, didn't you buy me one? So now I have one coming in the mail.
Not yet.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. He's doing something. I'm waiting for him. So there you go. There's his hoodie. So TLC Mama Bear makes those hoodies.
Good morning, everybody.
And he's probably has his hat on, his hoodie on, because he shaves his head, and he hasn't shaved his head in a couple of days. So y'all would see him like with all his stubble. So just do that when you want to talk.
I know, Miss Leslie. Yes.
It's
cool
so
hoodie.
easy. So it is so easy. Just come on camera and talk. It's extortion. Shalom says it's extortion. It's very aggravating to watch a big seller give misinformation when they could be such an impact. Let's use your power for good, people.
Good morning, Mina, Texas. And the hoodies, she customizes it with your username on the sleeve. So mine says Soy Stima. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. Have a great day, Delta. Thank you for being in here. We have one more giveaway. Let's do this giveaway, and then we're probably going to go find somebody to raid. Good morning, the Sassy Vintage Chick. This is another seller. Sassy Vintage Chick does a chat show. She's an honest seller. She tells you like it is, and she doesn't lie to you about shipping. I would highly recommend going to the Sassy Vintage Chick. I have thought about putting like a listing, not to buy, but just that you can screenshot of sellers that give good information. The problem is that what I'm afraid, this is why I don't do it. I know I can't talk. I know that I would leave somebody off the list and then I would feel bad about it. But I may be doing that because y'all need to know who are the good people. And not just in my opinion. I mean, it's good people as far as the ones that are telling you the honest truth, not bad information.
Reclaim Vintage. It's going to be TLC Mama Bear. There, Kimmy put it in their chat. Yeah, it's awesome. She's got really cool designs. She has a Chester cat that is amazing.
So Loom says, I was wondering about different things you should say during the show about this will come in your bag. Such as you explain a little bit more. You're allowed to put anything you want, any extras in the bag that you want. But you can't use that as a way to encourage sales. You can't say, if you buy this, then I'll put this in your bag too. Like you can't use it as a way to entice sales. But after shipping is done, if you want to drop in little goodies, you're totally allowed to do that. We have more info about the new train you are hosting. Sure. Forgotten Memories. So the new train that I am hosting is the CEO Challenge. We have the CEO Challenge. Do you want to play the little thingy? Do you have it ready?
Yes.
All right. So watch this and then I'll tell you about the train.
Growing, learning,
And it froze. I don't know why.
Building. Through weekly challenges. Building the business, not just the show. Welcome to the CEO Challenge.
So that is the CEO Challenge. If you all are interested in joining in on that, there is the 6 sellers who will be part of the challenge. And then we will have an at-home version for anybody who just wants to do it on their own and follow along. Good morning, TLC Mama Bear. We were tagging you because we were bragging about your hoodies that Noel is wearing his today. This is TLC Mama Bear. So before we talk about the CEO Challenge, this is who we're saying makes the hoodies. So go check her shows out. She's in Puerto Rico. She sells amazing snacks, but she is also a very talented artist.
And there are the hoodies.
There's the hoodies right there.
Look at that cat. That's an awesome cat. And that's another one. So check TLC Mama Bear.
Thank you for popping in. All right, so the CEO Challenge, what we were just talking about, this is something that I'm bringing to Whatnot in April. It is a mix of a challenge, reality show, raid train. Something that, thank you so much, something that Whatnot has never seen before. Basically, 6 sellers, you apply through application. I'll tell you how to get an application in a second. Are going to spend the month of April working on their businesses. We're building the show, we're building the business, not just the show. So every week there will be a challenge. The challenge may be I'm going to monitor a certain KPI, a certain measurement that I want to improve in my business. Another challenge may be I'm not going to emotionally discount prices, which means I'm not going to be in the heat of the moment and start slashing prices just because I'm getting nervous that people aren't bidding. So we're going to look at basic foundational business principles and apply them in the businesses. And then every Tuesday evening throughout the course of the train in April, we're going to have a show where the 6 sellers, it's going to be like a raid train. They're going to either be talking about what they're doing. It's going to be like a very short 10, 15 minute talk show type version, or they're going to be demonstrating and they're going to be selling and practicing their skills. So, thank you so much, Lost Ledger. That is the CEO Challenge. If you are interested in being one of our 6 sellers, applications are still open until Wednesday evening. You can go to www.boomerangecho.com and you can download an application from her website. We will also, on this website, we will have, when the challenge gets going, like things you can download to follow along at home if you just want to implement this in your own business without being one of the contestants. Who's getting this giveaway? Misty got that last giveaway. Thank you for being here. So there's the CEO Challenge.
Congratulations.
There is a lot of, this is a commitment because we're talking about building a business. So this is a commitment. There are a lot of dates. Now, if you can't make all those dates, we can work with you. But that's where you would go, download the application and email it over to me if you want to be one of the 6 sellers. And that is due by Wednesday night because I want to announce Friday who those 6 sellers are.
And Tober, TLC Mama Bear mentioned about the T-Rex, so I figure I'll do it for you guys.
Oh, are you going to play her video? Can you play it?
I can try.
Okay. So sometimes my husband, for fun, he'll be watching sellers and then just like little things that are like jokes or things in their chat, he'll make, thank you so much. Book exchange, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It is not expected, not necessary, but I do appreciate it. He'll make little videos and send it to him just out of fun. And he made this one for TLC Mama Bear. If you've ever watched her, she sells frequently from her like balcony in Puerto Rico with this gorgeous view behind her. It's kind of like a tropical forest scene, usually with you could see the sun in the background. And everybody jokes with her that a T-Rex is going to come out of the forest and attack her. It kind of does look like a scene from, what's that movie? I forget the name of the movie with the dinosaur, Jurassic Park. Thank you, Tober. Yes. So he made a little video about it and sent it to her. He'll try to play it for you in a second. I see people come into a show and ask for sellers to discount and bundle. I want to scream at them, get out of the sale. Deb, we were talking about this earlier. There's an emergence of a lack of etiquette happening on Whatnot. Somebody said, and it might have been Natural State of High, that there seems to be an increase since the Super Bowl show, the big Super Bowl thing that happened, which on one hand is wonderful that we have an influx of new buyers. That's great. But at the same time, there's an etiquette that's just been lost on Whatnot. And all we can do is try to handle it professionally. So if we have to boot somebody from a show, I'm not proponent of blocking, but if we have to kick them out of the show, do that, but then message them, be nice and say, hey, this is kind of, it's up to us of the people who've been around a little bit to help pass on that etiquette. That's the only way people are going to know. And we don't need to do it like the Whatnot police. I think we can do it nicely. The Super Bowl thing is basically, there was a very large show. I'll just put it out there. Whatnot hired Mr. Beast to come on and do a huge giveaway during the Super Bowl time, or on Super Bowl Sunday. It may not have been at the same time. Super Bowl Sunday, Mr. Beast came on, did a show. Mr. Beast, I didn't even know who he was until this point. I'm not his normal demographic. Big YouTuber, social media guy, has a huge following, is known for giving away a lot of stuff. He did like an hour show and Whatnot where he gave away extraordinary prizes, like a Lamborghini and tons of money and all kinds of fancy stuff. What that did was bring in, hundreds of thousands of people to Whatnot to watch him, which was great because hopefully those people stayed and they were like, wow, this is a cool app. But at the same time, it brought in a lot of people who wouldn't have come naturally. And I think there's just this influx and they're not learning. I've just seen an increase of demanding behavior, of rudeness, of, I want this, demanding discounts. And you know what? In our shows, you are in control of your show. This is one of the topics I talk a lot about on Friday mornings. We design our shows. We control our shows. We could be a good, kind, thoughtful seller and still be in control of your show. If you don't want a bundle, if you don't want a discount, you don't have to. Do not let anybody force you into it. You determine your business plan, your strategy, how you're going to sell, and you do it your way. Now, as a smart business owner, every so often you will evaluate and say, is my way working? And you may need to change your ways. But it is not anybody else's job to dictate your show. That means me included. That means these people saying you're never going to get anywhere if you don't promote, or if you don't do giveaways, or if you don't do this, that, or the other thing. There are a million tools on Whatnot. Okay, maybe not a million. I'm stretching it. There are a ton of tools at your disposal on Whatnot. It is your job to determine how those tools work best in your show. I have a real hard problem with anybody on this app saying, follow me, follow this way, and you will be successful. There's not one way to do Whatnot. There is not. For example, take our podcast. You have me, I Love Discounts, and Green 13. We all do things very differently, and we all feel that we're successful in our businesses. So you need to determine what works for you. And the people who are selling you, follow me, buy this, and follow this program, or buy my book, or whatever, and you're going to be a millionaire. No, that works for them. What are they doing is telling you to do it their way. Well, that's their business model, their plan. How do you know it's going to work for you? So,
are we ready for the video?
Oh, he wants to show you his TLC Mama Bear video. So before I get going on my rant too much, let's just stop my rant and we're going to go watch his video.
All right, let's give it a try. Let's see if it works. Here we go. Sorry, it sounds like it doesn't have sound.
Yeah, no audio, but you can still see the picture. There you go. And she is so much far prettier on her shows than the pixelated image that you just saw. She is very beautiful. So
yeah, it's kind of hard. I will have to transfer it somehow. Let me see.
All right. With that, I think we kind of covered everything, you guys. We're going to go raid somebody. I do have to get to my 9 to 5. I try to keep this to about 8:30, somewhere in that ballpark. So if there are no more questions, we're going to go find somebody to raid. Not too sure who's on. We're going to wing it. Look at me. I'm going to wing it today. I'm not a wing it person, but we're going to wing it. Y'all, thank you for being here. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you hanging out with me. It really, really makes my mornings great to come here a couple days a week and hang out with you guys. So thank you so much, Loom. We shall see you soon. Tonight is Ledger to Leadership. If you want to learn accounting for resellers, I'll be back at 6:30 tonight. Yes, Rawson, thank you. Thank you, Rawson. Ducks in the chat to when we raid. we are going to go see, you know what? We're going to go see Faded. Warning, Faded Flamingo uses explicit language. This is your warning that if you do not like explicit language, I'm giving you a fair warning right now. You probably don't want to hang out, but she is funny as all get out. And if a few F-bombs don't bother you, hang out and check her out.